Welcome, everyone. So, my name is Dan Barker, and I have the best job in the house tonight because not only am I managing director here at Halcyon, but I'm here to welcome all of you. Thank you so much for coming out for our Cohort 16 celebration and showcase. I've been in this role for only 5 months, and it's really been Cohort 16 that has taught me about the magic of Halcyon and how we bring together in this amazing space, this inspirational space, we bring together resources, provide access to opportunities, and really create a community here. And these fellows have taught me what that looks like and the serendipity that happens here when you can run into a Secretary of State or a former mayor of DC or an amazing entrepreneur who has made it big in the retail industry. It's been an amazing experience for me to watch the growth of these entrepreneurs and to see, as I said, how every piece of the puzzle comes together to help them on their mission to scale and help Halcyon realize the mission that's behind me in terms of accelerating the impact-driven future of business. So again, I'm here to welcome you. We're so excited that you will have the opportunity to hear from these fellows. I mentioned it's been 5 months. We know the world has changed quite a bit in the last 2 years, and these last 5 months outside of this haven, we know have not been easy for all of us, haven't been easy for the world. We know that a war started during this time. We've seen the resurgence of various health crises, climate crises, the resurgence of the issue of gun violence in this country. It can be really easy to get lost in cynicism and pessimism. And as a native New Yorker, cynicism and pessimism come naturally to me. That's kind of my comfort zone. But it's been this cohort that has really shown me where the light is at the end of the tunnel. We start every morning, or every Monday morning here with breakfast with the fellows, hearing how they are tackling their problems, how they're doing personally, professionally. They talk honestly about where they are in their highs and where the lows are. And it's really their resilience, their passion, how they take on every challenge with grace and grit that has inspired me, and again, shown me that light at the end of the tunnel. And we know there's so many really critical challenges that we all face globally now, but it's these folks who are gonna help us change that. And we know that we couldn't have gotten here without the support of everybody in this room, our advisors, our mentors, our leadership coaches, all of you who have poured your time and energy into this program. We are so thankful for you. If you've been any of those roles, if you've spoken a skill series, can you please raise your hand? And I've seen a bunch of you, so I know you're here. Can we please give these folks a round of applause? I also want to thank our incredible group of supporters, including Amazon Web Services, Arnold & Porter, Bracewell, Bank of America, Capital One, Deloitte, the HR Sage, and the S&R Foundation for, again, helping make sure that we have all that we need to support this program and to support these amazing fellows. Just a few notes of housekeeping before I get to the real show. You'll hear 7 amazing pitches. They'll be 4 minutes each. After the pitches, you'll have the opportunity to connect with the fellows outside in this amazing DC weather, and hopefully it gets a little bit cooler as we go on. But we really encourage you, and our call to action for all of you is as you listen to these pitches, really to think about how you can sort of bring the assets that you bring to bear to support the important work that the fellows are doing. Whether that be connections, whether that be financial assets, whatever you're bringing to bear, we really want this room to, again, to lift up and help advance the important work that these fellows are doing. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to bring up to the stage Pamela Shattuck, co-founder of Coils to Locks.
It's just hair. You should feel lucky to be alive. Meet Diane. She's fine now, but in 2015, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and lost all of her coily textured hair due to chemo. Those statements were made by some well-meaning people when she expressed her hair loss concerns. It was important for Diane to look as much like herself as possible during her cancer journey. Now, armed with a wig prescription from her oncologist and insurance reimbursement of up to $350, she went to several cancer center hospitals to purchase a wig. But every cancer center hospital only sold straight and wavy-haired wigs. That lack of options deprived Diane of using her health insurance and robbed her of the resources, privacy, and dignity that medical salon settings provide. I'm Pamela Shattuck, and Diane is my sister. We founded Coils to Locks to put an end to this healthcare disparity. Just to put an end to this healthcare disparity. Hair is an important part of a woman's identity. 46% of Black women in the US are living with medical and non-medical hair loss. 1 in 3, according to the American Cancer Society, will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. And 60% of Black women experience high blood pressure and take medication that will cause hair loss. Market research increasingly shows that Black consumers are driving a 13% annual growth in the wig and hair extension market. And nearly 86% of Black women are driving that growth. And our Deloitte research has helped us define key areas for market growth. Wig distributors have neglected and ignored this lucrative and untapped market in the cancer care space, and wig distributors have not provided, an opportunity for where wig distributors are selling these wigs. They're not, they have limited and lesser quality options. The existence of Coils to Locks means that every woman, regardless of hair texture, will have access to wigs that resembles the hair that she lost. And we're currently selling our wigs B2B, and due to high demand, we'll be launching our online store and providing wigs to women with all types of hair loss and to those women who simply want wigs for aesthetic reasons. We piloted Coils to Locks in October of 2019 in 3 hospitals 4 months before the pandemic. In spite of the pandemic, we've seen steady B2B growth, are in 13 pilot hospitals with plans to expand from 13 to 20 locations by year end. Now, we're told we don't brag about our wins enough. So, Forbes, The Today Show, Halcyon, toot toot. Our team consists of 2 cancer survivors and has 20+ years of experience in spaces like diversity and inclusion, cancer support, and communications. And some of our amazing advisors have been with us since our pre-launch stage in support of our mission. We are looking to raise up to $1 million in support of our hospital growth, on the B2B side, and in adding augmented reality to our website on the B2C side so that women can try on our wigs virtually. Diane's lived experience was the foundation for Coils to Locks, and you'll get to meet her today when you come to our table. It is more than just a wig. Every woman, regardless of hair texture, deserves a wig that resembles the hair that she lost. Just like the Coils to Locks wig that I'm wearing right now. Thank you. Thank you. And so now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you, all the way from Ghana, mild-mannered at heart, but kicking ass in business. Can I say that? In business. Mubarak.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pamela Mubarak, and I'm from Ghana. 4 months ago, I left all the amazing finger-licking spicy African food to move to DC for the Halcyon Incubator flagship program. It's been an amazing period of growth for me, and today I'm here to present to you all the great things I've been able to achieve during this period. I run a fintech startup in Africa called Bizo Money, where we're empowering 100,000 unbanked and underbanked people to create wealth through access to digital banking. I grew up on the streets of Accra in a community where most of the people are unbanked and underserved. What they do for a living is buying and selling, and most of them make their income on a daily basis. In order to be able to meet their financial needs, they save with traditional financial intermediaries called susu collectors, and also within savings groups, which are money pools. These informal practices make up a very integral part of the growth of these communities. And globally, there are about 2 billion people that are living within these communities. In Africa, it's about 57% of the continent's population, which is mind-boggling. And most of them are women and young adults. Most financial products and services offered to them end up not meeting their needs and their wants. They are often very complex. They are difficult to use. And the third thing is they have high transaction fees, which goes a long way to worsen the situation of poverty for these women. 3 years ago, a visit to my mom's place, who practices susu savings, inspired me to start Bizo Money. Bizo Money provides a digital bank for people that are unbanked and underbanked, where we give them access to a tailor-made ecosystem of low-cost financial products and services that are built on top of these traditional financial schemes. Our flagship product, Bizo Susu, allows our customers to save, to invest, to borrow, to spend, and to send. And they are also able to access financial literacy education on this platform. Africa accounts for about 70% of the global $1 trillion mobile money market. Last year, about $700 billion was transacted by 184 million people. In Ghana, this was about $120 billion by just 80 million people. And why does this matter? It is because our platforms are built on top of mobile money. We target traders, micro merchants, farmers, and then students. We're backed by a microfinance license, which allows us to take in deposits and invest them. And we also integrate with mobile money companies to distribute our solutions via USSD and apps, whilst making money from a 1 to 2% transaction fee, 9 to 12% interest per annum when we invest the funds, and a 1 to 3% fee when people take loans from us. Our go-to-market strategy comprises of a savings vouchers feature which allows our users to make offline deposits. And this is backed by an agent network of 150,000 agents that are spread across the entire country. We also have a program which basically allows people to earn money when they refer someone to sign up, and then we have an ambassador program. To date, we have about 100,000 customers who have transacted about $300,000, and we have raised about $800,000 from Good Soil VC and MEST. We're supported by Halcyon, by MEST, and by Summit. We've been featured by TechCrunch, by the BBC, and by Microsoft. It costs us about $1 to acquire one customer, and over a period of 5 years, we're able to make $150 from this customer. This year, we're looking to onboard about 500,000 customers who we basically project to transact about $40 million. And in our third year, we're looking at doing 3.5 million customers and $1.2 billion in transactions. What differentiates us from the competition is our all-digital products and services, which have a great user experience, and they also have a low cost. We also have a product ecosystem, which allows our users to build a credit history, something we call a Bizo score, which is kind of like your credit score. Our team has 40 years of experience in business, in finance, in software, in marketing, in sales, and we also have great experience in building culture and in building communities. We've all stayed, worked, and built products focused on people at the bottom of the pyramid. We're currently raising a bridge round of $800,000. We've raised about $300K, and we're looking to complete it with the remaining $500K. We're also looking for support and access to development agencies, banks, and also advice on scaling business support and marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, join us in transforming the lives of the world's unbanked. Thank you. And now to introduce to you the new norm, we have the best, the greatest, and the brightest, Lauren Choi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Chet, and I'm the founder of The New Norm, and we are revolutionizing the way that we recycle plastics. We transform plastic into sustainable fabric. We're tackling the issue of recycling head on. We offer a solution that makes use of plastics that are specifically not recycled and transform them into fabric, solving a problem at the intersection of multiple industries that, if left unaddressed, will be devastating for our world. Our secret sauce is really our material formulations, the exact recipe of various plastics and additives that form a fiber. To date, we have applied our technology to recycled Solo cups, various ocean plastics, and old fishing nets. The shirt I'm wearing right now is actually made from recycled Solo cups. And these plastics are those number 5s, the number 6s. Unfortunately, those are never getting recycled here in the US. So even if you put a red Solo cup into the blue bin, chances are it's going to be either landfilled or incinerated. So by creating sustainable yarns and fabrics from these plastics, we serve as that puzzle piece between plastics, end products, and brands and their impact. On behalf of brands, we perform research and development, we identify plastics and build out the non-existent parts of the supply chain, help achieve sustainability goals, and provide unique materials with great marketing potential. The environmental impact of what we do is entirely volume-based. According to data from the EPA and NSF, it's been calculated that if we recycle 1 ton of our recycled ocean plastics, it's the equivalent to avoiding the use of 90 gallons of gasoline. To give you a sense of what 1 ton of plastics looks like, we can fill the room that we're sitting in right now with 100 tons of plastic. By scaling production and optimizing our supply chain, we can drastically reduce the cost of our materials. By year 5, if we were able to recycle 3 million pounds of plastic, it would be like preventing over 3 million miles driven by an average passenger car. Now, 3 million pounds of plastic might seem like a lot, but if you look at global synthetic fiber production, over 150 billion pounds are produced annually. If major downstream markets intend to transition to sustainable materials in the coming decades, we must establish ourselves now to start tackling such a significant volume. By achieving large-scale adoption, we believe that we can be an early player in this sustainable revolution. We offer licensing, yarns, and fabrics. That way, a brand with its own manufacturers and partners can easily integrate our products into any step of the supply chain. As a B2B company, we've identified sustainable apparel brands and designers to be our target market. And once we share our mission, the product really speaks for itself. Designers have commented on our fabric's premium look and feel. They appreciate that our plastics have certifications and that we manufacture fully here in the US. These early partnerships have really allowed us to validate the different parts of our supply chain, gain traction, and beta test out different versions of our fabric with real designers. Our next step is to really find a champion, a brand that is willing to scale our sustainable technology. Our key strategic partnerships with various suppliers and manufacturers gives us the ability to scale quickly. For example, right now we are working with Under Armour to begin performance testing our materials, and we're really looking for a partner like that that has the ability to help us recycle tens and hundreds of thousands of pounds of plastic. So right now we're looking for individuals that have experience in the apparel, automotive, and home furnishing industries that can help us navigate these next steps. Help us completely transform the way we recycle plastics, help us become the new norm. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce someone who has the most contagious laugh, absolutely brings so much energy to every room, the founder of Enroute, Jeffrey.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and happy Pride and Juneteenth month to y'all. My name is Jeffrey Martine, and I'm the founding managing partner of Enroute Agricultural Management, or Enroute Ag Co-op for short, in Atlanta, Georgia. What we're doing, we're reimagining underutilized real estate to be a disruptive force against the negative impacts of food apartheid and climate change that's happening in the United States. This is a really, really disorienting slide for a very dispersed and disorienting solution that we're trying to figure out between the real estate and agricultural sectors. Depending on who you ask, this cost of food insecurity through real estate and us solving this problem of food insecurity due to systemic racism is somewhere between $160 billion and $1.1 trillion with the sectors that we're looking at this in. Our solution is Enroute, through our membership cooperative model, we provide space, training, and equipment to help farmers scale their farming practices into vertical hydroponic farms, and specifically by providing underutilized commercial leasers with established farmers, we're able to really increase their revenue per square footage to be about $40, bringing in this really, really efficient way of doing farming. Our competitive advantage is through our membership model where we share profits, the equipment training that we provide from business wraparound services, and also the vertical of areas that we hit from climate smart commodities, whether that be microgreens, ocean farming, hemp, and alternative insect proteins. Our theory of change is by providing this equipment, training, wraparound sales supports, we're really able to increase our farmers' annual revenues to be about $500,000 per year. And when you look at that vis-a-vis the short, medium, and long term, that's wealth going into communities that have systemically been left out due to their zip codes, this big problem that I mentioned. Looking at the 2 million farmers that we have here in the United States, about 300,000 of them are primed for Enroute services, and over the next 5 years, we're gonna be trying to transfer or convert 30,000 of those folks to be customers with us over 5 cities across the United States. The way that we make money is from our commercial lease referrals by bringing the commercial lease owners these fungible tenants and also these amenities for the commercial lease tenants that will be there. Through our membership and wraparound service model, with them growing extra product and us connecting them with those established institutions, whether it be restaurants, food banks, hospitals, through our direct-to-consumer sales technology. Our profit model margins, we estimate them to be about 41% per farmer, where we're charging them about $85K across the lease, and they're able to make about, again, 3 times more than they were before working with us. Our team, outside of the leadership that I bring, has about 40 years of K-12 and adult learning education, 10 years across hydroponics and ocean farming. We have 4 Georgia real estate folks who are across residential and commercial, 2 technology founders, and also all of us are second founders, and myself, I bring over 9 years of experience across fintech, edtech, policy, startup, enterprise, where I was one of the youngest vice presidents at BlackRock in their institutional client business, where I brought in $330 million during my tenure. So we're ready to solve this issue. Our ask today is for folks, again, when we're engaging out here at the side, if you have connections with some of these governmental agencies, and that's the Department of Energy, USDA, FDA, National Science Foundation, we have active non-dilutive proposals sitting in their inbox, and we would love to get in there, just kind of get in their conversation loop. The other side would be BIPOC, low income, and urban farmers that are across these 5 regions of Georgia, Michigan, DC, Virginia, and Maryland, and also commercial lease owners that are really looking to reinvent how they think about their tenant model. This problem is really personal for me. As a person who grew up in food apartheid in Atlanta, Georgia, and all of the trauma that has been brought up from COVID and our most vulnerable populations being kind of on the outskirts, this is super, super important. Inward is a way that we can build financial sustainability within an equity model in a proactive way versus retroactively, and I look forward to chatting with you all outside to see how you can join and be a part. Thank you for your time. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce someone that we really had so much in common, and specifically around how radically candid we are about investors and just situations in general. I'd love to introduce y'all to the CEO and founder of Unifage, Sophia.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sophia, CEO and founder of Unifage. At Unifage, we are building a new era of crop antimicrobials. Of all the people in this room, at least 9 in 10 of you have dangerous pesticides in your bodies. They're linked to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, birth defects, and many more dangerous conditions. Despite us as a society pouring tons of those pesticides to control bacterial and fungal diseases in agriculture, about 1/3 of all crops worldwide is simply lost to bacterial and fungal infections. This leads to annual losses of more than $500 billion. This also contributes to the fact that more than 25,000 people die daily from hunger. This means that more than a $66 billion market for safe and effective crop antimicrobials is up for taking. This is why we are developing ultra-precise, efficient, and safe microbe-based bactericides and fungicides. And this is the team that's bringing this to reality. I myself come from the biotechnology background. Other people on the team at this point are working on the microbiology, bacteriophage, business development, and data science side. And we have major research partnerships to bring our vision to reality. We also have a top-notch advisory board, including experts coming from the plant biology, bacteriophage. Bacteriophages are safe bacterial viruses, just in case. Those are the crazy things that you're using. Consulting in other fields. And this is how we are going to make money. We expect to bring about 80% of our solutions to the market for partnerships, 15% by directly licensing out our targets, and only 5% for full in-house development to initially reduce the high risk associated with this. Our initial targets include some of the most devastating bacterial and fungal diseases in crops. The very first target of ours is citrus greening, which is probably America's most devastating bacterial disease in agriculture. It causes the US more than $2 billion in damages. It has been around since 2005. The government has poured billions of dollars in trying to solve it. And we hope to be the ones who truly brings the end to this devastating disease. Our main competitors at this point are traditional solutions, traditional chemical pesticides. We currently have a little over $350,000 in non-dilutive funding, including recent SBIR grant from the National Science Foundation. We also have a top-notch team, letters of intent, and major research partnerships. We are currently raising a tiny round to one-to-one match our governmental fundings that we have of $256,000 to be able to reach more research milestones and raise a significantly larger round in about 12 to 14 months' time. So please help us replace dangerous for all of us chemicals by tapping into a $1 trillion opportunity. Thank you. And now I would love to invite on stage Akshita, who is solving a really critical problem about which she'll share more now, with empathy and technology. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I hope you are having a great time today. I'm Akshita, co-founder of Trestle Labs. Imagine a day when you wake up to something like this. 253 million visually impaired people wake up to something like this every single day. Someone goes blind every 5 seconds. And that would be at least 50 people before I complete this presentation. I would like to introduce you to Dipali, who was doing extremely well till her 9th grade, but one day lost her eyesight. She had to spend 2 years learning Braille before she could clear her 10th grade exam. Her life again took a turn when she started pursuing her higher education, got printed books from her college, and had to wait for 4 to 6 weeks to get one 300-page book audio recorded. How will the scenario change when she starts working, when she can no longer expect the documents to come to her in Braille or audio? And that's why we have developed Kibo, an end-to-end solution to listen, translate, digitize, and audiotize any kind of printed, handwritten, and digital content across 60 global languages. Our patent-pending technology stack comprises of 3 products that cater to the lifestyle, learning, and earning aspects of a visually impaired person's life. Kibo mobile application for on-the-go audio-based access to content. Kibo Access device, which is a talking table lamp for any kind of hard copy, printed, and handwritten documents. And Kibo Desk for images and scanned image-based PDFs. You might think Google Docs and Google Translate could also do it. Here's how we do it differently. Here's a test PDF. While Google Translate gives no output, Google Docs retains it as an image. Kibo makes it completely accessible. Our competitive advantages are spread across the support for 60 global languages, which pretty much covers 80% of world's spoken languages. Our support for handwriting, which is testified by visually impaired teachers who are now using Kibo to assess the handwritten answer sheets of their students independently. The support for audiotization, that means you can type, scan, or upload any document and convert it into an audiobook in not 30 days, but less than 30 minutes. The support for translation, so you can translate across 100+ languages, so language is no longer a barrier for you. And all this seamless experience across mobile and web. These are some of our users, and there are thousands of them, and they all love us. Launched in July 2019, we are now empowering 65,000 visually impaired individuals across 22 countries, and the numbers are growing as we talk. Our revenues come from B2B 75%, which includes schools, colleges, libraries, and NGOs, and 25% B2C, which includes visually impaired individuals in the age group 15 to 50 years. The pricing model of our products is subscription-based for Kibo mobile application, a one-time payment for the device, and a subscription model for Kibo Desk. And we are a bootstrapped and profitable venture. Last year, we did $120,000 in revenues, which was 104% growth from our last year's revenues, with 61% in net profits. We are targeting an assistive technology market for the visually impaired community in the education sector, which is estimated at $2 billion globally and $200 million in India alone, which also is housed to 20% of world's blind population. And we are seeking mentorship and connections to help us grow our team, technology, and our global impact. We are also looking to raise $1 million in next 8 to 10 months. And this is our amazing team. We are a team of intrinsically motivated tech entrepreneurs, passionate to drive impact in people's lives, with a strong advisory support across technology, business, and impact. Over this journey, we have been supported by various organizations, including Halcyon, but the best was when Dipali, she called to say how she is able to clear her second-year BA exam thanks to the content made accessible on Kibo. And this is especially heartening because visually impaired students and visually impaired girl students drop off exactly at that point. And this is the impact we strive for. Thank you so much. I would be happy to have you around on my table if you want to see Kibo in action. And before that, I would like to invite on stage my amazing friend and an amazing founder, Tammy, who is changing the world one gown at a time.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hope that all of you are having a great day. Definitely, it's really amazing to be here in front of all of you. So, I want to put you 2 years ago, when we were in the pandemic, center of it. Did you know how doctors protect themselves in that time? They weren't really protected. Nothing has changed in the last 2 years. All the clothes that they use are disposable, expensive, scarce, and of course that make this work so hard. The problem is that right now, one doctor in 1 year generates 1.5 tons of waste. And that's a lot. Imagine that, one single doctor, and we have thousands of doctors around the world. They do in 1 day the equivalent to your garbage in 1 week. And that's incredibly insane. So that's why Meadow was born. We are producing sustainable medical equipment that is protecting healthcare professionals in a sustainable way, while we are saving some of the cost around that. How do we do it? We develop a fabric that is put into our gowns that can save up to 55 pounds of waste, 90% of cost, can be reusable, and can be recycled. That's a huge to-do and to deal with, because most of the problems is that you can't use this gown in between patients. You have to change yourself. So our gown can actually be used in between patients. How? We encapsulate bacteria and virus in this amazing fabric, and we're able to track it in real time with our app. That also allows us to have a lot of data inside hospitals and obtain what we need from them and optimize internally their process. The market was huge, and right now has increased 300%. These are data from 2019. Imagine 300% of growth. And it will continue growing because so far, even after the pandemic, they still need this type of disposable gowns. But our sustainable impact goes more and beyond. In just 1 year, one doctor only needs 8 of our gowns in comparison to thousands of the disposable ones. But the most important side in our B2B side is that we're able to save millions of dollars in those hospitals. And those millions are able to save and to have more impact in people's lives. So far, we already deliver more than 8,000 equipments all around Mexico and some of the US. This is impacting more than 2,000 professionals all around the world. And we plan to increase it. Our revenue, we have $800K in revenue, we're profitable, we have great margins, and we're planning to expand. Right now, and it's a pleasure for me to announce that in the last 4 months, we were able to close our seed round. We're backed by amazing people like Halcyon, but also people all around the United States that want us to go not only in the US. We want to go worldwide, changing the world. So our next step is growing in terms of like production line, in terms of reducing our cost, scaling our sales team, et cetera, and getting to the hospitals. Our team has more than 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, development, biotech, and we plan to go further. Our ask right now is to protect our healthcare professionals in a sustainable way, and you're able to get into those hospitals. Introduce us to doctors, nurses, the contacts right there that we need to change one gown at a time. So thank you so much, and join the Meta movement with us. Thank you. Well, right now, I'm presenting to Dana that it's an amazing partner in Halcyon, and that probably will give you some words for us.
I definitely have words. And those first words are thank you to our fellows for those incredibly inspiring pitches. A huge congratulations to all of you. It is so inspiring to see how much all of your ventures have grown, the progress that you've made in the short time that you've been here, and we couldn't be more excited to track your progress as you go back out into the world. I'm Dana Goldstein, I'm Halcyon's Chief Investment Officer, and I realize that I am the thing that's standing between you and networking with these folks, so I'm going to keep this brief. So you've now heard from each one of the fellows. You will now have an opportunity to connect with them, to learn more. They will be spread out outside, as Dan said, in the lovely DC weather. There are also cold drinks outside, so it'll be a delightful place to be. Please stick around, get to know them, get to know one another. It's great to have people back in the house. This is a phenomenal opportunity to connect in person. Before I send you on your way, we hope to see you back at Halcyon later this summer. We will have a fireside chat with entrepreneurs from sub-Saharan Africa in the Halcyon AWS Africa Intensive. We will have a showcase in August for the Opportunity Intensive cohort. We will also later this fall, thank you, yes, we can do that, welcome Cohort 17 in September. So we keep cruising right along and welcoming additional inspiring entrepreneurs to Halcyon. And please save the date for October 20th for the Halcyon Awards. It's Halcyon's biggest event of the year and an opportunity to celebrate inspiring trailblazers and innovators. So without further ado, please enjoy the chance to interact with Cohort 16. They will each be at a table outside. Talk to them. Ask them about their challenges. Ask them about the opportunities that they currently have in front of them. See if you can make connections for them. See if you can help them advance their missions and the work that they're doing. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you back here at Halcyon.